In addition to the quality of your drinking water, many private well owners are concerned about the amount of water they get from their private wells.
When the well is being constructed, as the driller is drilling, people ask, how much is a good quantity to run my house? So the depth of the well comes in that case very important, because the diameter, the 6 inches of the well, every foot in the well holds approximately 1.5 gallons of water. So it acts as an underground storage tank.
It's also important for homeowners to know on new installation of wells, the driller is required to run what's called a yield test. It takes a few hours, and that determines the reliable amount of water you can probably be getting from that well. And we have guidelines about what acceptable yields will be. There's no guarantee from all aquifers that you can get adequate yields, but the drillers are required to test that for you. If people are contemplating building in an area where there's some knowledge that the aquifer may not yield very much water, and there are a couple of locations in the state where there's been some experience that it's been very difficult sometimes to install private wells, even to serve a single home. If there's some knowledge that you may be trying to build in those areas, it would make sense to me to be putting your well in first, assuring your supply, and then building your home and being careful not to disturb the well while that other construction is happening. And then also there's guidance in our regulation. There's a table that relates the depth of a well to the yield of a well. It gives consumers a guidance on how deep a well should be based on the type of yield that they're getting from particularly bedrock aquifer. And an example of that is if you're able to get 1 gallon a minute from your well, then you should have a minimum depth of at least 300 feet. What happens is if you have a lower yield, a greater depth is recommended, and then that capacity of the well sort of compensates for the low yield in the performance of delivering water to the home.